Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video for Self and Living, I am first sharing a little story, and I'll also attach a video in the description comment box of the moment that inspired this adventure into the word change. So, my partner and I have been moving into our new home in an actual, entire little place that we can call and make our own. And in that process, we first and foremost had to move, from one environment to another, start packing everything and, carrying it up to the different place or space. We just moved to a different space on the farm. And so for me, I've been aware that my animals may respond to this change, this move, in different ways. I've got 4 animals who I have been growing up with and walking a path with for the last 10 years. Some less, some more. But generally within those amount of years. And now obviously in terms of how they respond, I will accordingly respond, and how I respond, they will respond. So it's always like this kind of a body language communication. And over the years, as you yourself get to know your own body language and behavior, and even that of others who's close to you, so you do with animals as well. I mean, animals more, I would say, in-depth and specifically communicate within their behavior, their looks. And it was interesting, it was through my relationship with animals that my process of being able to see the detail in another person's facial expressions, body language, and also notice the little things and be able to read them effectively, which is something that I enjoy thoroughly. But I always first started experimenting and playing and checking, and it's been really interesting to see the different changes in the animals and also myself and my partner. And also, everyone else who this move and this change is affecting. We oftentimes think when a change happens, it only happens to us. We oftentimes very seldom consider that it's actually affecting more people and things in your environment. And so within this, the words that stood out was, first there was a movement and a change that happened at the same time. So, if I look at myself in my own process and, generally within us humans, having to initiate a self-movement, a self-change, we oftentimes do that with utmost resistance. And here, even having a look sometimes at patterns or habits or addictions, behaviors, thoughts, personalities, emotional reactions that we know on some level or another is detrimental to us, our relationship to another, or things, stuff, animals in our environment. But there's always that something about that first step, that first movement, first initial expression of change, even if it is just an inkling, that we almost so consumed with fear or worry or concern or excuses or reasons or justifications or whatever it is that we can come up with to not take that first step, to just move, just change. And I think it's very important for everyone to have a look at what is it? What is that small thing? And it might seem like a big thing, but it's actually a small thing if you have a look at it in relation to how movement and change always brings a form of expansion, discovery, exploring, growth, maturity. I also have a look at moving from the room to a little home or house. And that also showed me how significant change and movement can be, because it required a movement from myself, my partner. And I'm not speaking even physically here. I'm also saying within ourselves, more than I could even have imagined, because it was me having to adjust to being responsible now for a bigger space, a bigger environment, a bigger space and environment that has to reflect me as much as I am expressing myself within it. I had to move and change within myself in relation to my partner and I sharing this entire home ourselves alone. And what does that mean in our relation to responsibility? Can we step up into it? Will we change if we do? Or is everything that will change as a movement just an addition into who we are as people? Do we grow? Do we become more mature? Do we have more arguments? Because weird things can sometimes come out and happen when you make a move or a change. It's not all sunshine and roses. I mean, I look at the initial move, the initial change process and phase, both doing it physically and also within myself at the same time. And it's hard because you go from one lifestyle, one way of living, and you don't realize, how much you've gotten used to things when you kind of get out of it and you can't go back. That's why I'm sometimes so thankful for change that is kind of sudden and unexpected, because it kind of forces you in a more realistic, reality, practical way. Very unemotional, It's not like reality is emotional when you've got to move. Just like, hey, you've got to move. Now move. As easy as that. So that also opened up something interesting within me. Like, how am I about myself when I say I need to move? I need to change. Do we approach ourselves like, for example, where we go, oh, you know what? I really think... I really think we need to change. Like, we're going to have to, move, Come on. We can do this. No, I don't think we should. Okay, no, we must move. Come, let's move. Or we do it like, we have to change. Like, oh my God, get in there. Move. What are you doing to yourself? Why are you not perfect in this way or that way? What the hell are you doing? Or do we go... oh, I think, please change. Can you please change? I really, really would like you to move now. Come on, please. Whereas reality just goes, move. Now, done. And you move, you change. So that is definitely something I'm going to be exploring within myself. Because that starting point in how I am towards me, when I know I actually have to change. Because if I don't, I'm going to create more consequences for myself in my life. If I don't change, I'm going to continue justifying and excusing and destroying, slowly but surely, pieces and parts of myself, my relationships and my life over time. And only wake up when it's too late. So I think... when we see a problem within ourselves or just a point within us where we just kind of know, look, we've got to change something here, to just do it. And I don't mean not like in terms of being absolutely inconsiderate and kind of, walking away from everything immediately, like standing up and walking away. Like, let's say you realize this in the middle of a job and you kind of go, okay, stand up, I'm going to quit right now. No, because you first have to figure out what you need to change and how before you can actually change, So It's just what I mean by it is when you start that movement, that process of change and understanding yourself in relation to it, just move. Just do it. Be a doer. And within that, a changer. Be like reality. Let reality, our life, be an example of those unpredictable moments where change happens and we move and we change and we just go with it. And we've had our ups and downs, me with the animals, my partner, little moments, but, already having that stability within our relationship, all that it needed was communication and redefining. So we were actually very fortunate, I would say, that while we were moving and changing on a physical level, we were doing it in real time in a communication level. And yeah, there were a few things that we had to redefine, which was in the words responsibility, time, tasks, who's doing what, when, how. But for most part, we're more chill. And we balance it out pretty well. And what I do like about the two of us is, when we can't do something, we just say, look, can you please do it? Can you please get to it if you have time? Because sometimes schedules go all over the place, so it's not never like a set schedule so that, oi, you didn't get to your task today. What was going on? No, I must do it. And that just, I found, we've tried that. It just created more issues. So we've got our kind of general set things, and if one of us can't do it, we're like, nah, can you please help here or there? So just make it natural, balanced, chill. Just know that both of you together are in your space and place, and to an extent equally responsible. All right, everyone. So enjoy that moment, that starting point of change and movement. Be reality. Think like reality. What would reality do? Just move, change, done. There's no asking, no pleading, no manipulating, no emotion. Just change, move, do. Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. See you in videos to come.